Man, I had another little thing pop into my mind. It's kind of a crazy connection here. There's this movie, man. It's a movie. It's called Bullworth, man. It's about this guy who's running for president, but he's basically, it's kind of like that movie with Sean Penn where he's the governor of Louisiana, and he's running, and he's supposed to run just to lose, but he ends up winning, and then I think they even end up shooting his ass for something. But this movie has got Warren Beatty in it, and he's this guy running for president. And he's kind of like, and since he's not gonna win, he starts telling people. He just starts being himself, and he starts actually becoming the most liked candidate. You know what I'm saying? And I'm noticing how they got Trump in the game doing the same thing, and then he's calling Edward Snowden a traitor. So what kind of dude is this really? And I mean, this guy really, he represents what, I'm really against, which is corporatism. Because, I mean, he's a corporatist. So, I mean, really, he's not much different from a Nazi. Because, I mean, besides all the religion fervor of the Nazi, besides that, it was a very corporatist society where it just like the corporations dictate the law and everything, what everyone does, the trends, everything. So, but in the movie, this is a strange connection. The movie and the soundtrack, this is what Old Dirty, this guy Old Dirty Bastard's solo career, it was really blazing at the time. I mean, I remember on 36 Chambers, that was still a pretty, it was a pretty raw album, so it was pretty popular. You know what I'm saying? It's like a hip hop classic album. But before, like with all other blood sacrifices, right before they blood sacrifice you, they let you do a solo album. You know what I'm saying? Or they have a solo album released after you're dead, like they did with Biggie. But there's a part in the movie where Warren Beatty he's scratching on a record, and this record he's scratching it's actually this dude Esham from Detroit, and he's not a super well-known artist, and like this dude made a video the other day saying like he might have been a plant from the east, or an implant from the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? And they threw him up in that movie there, and that was definitely a heavy East Coast type movie. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that Old Dirty, he died of supposedly of crack overdose. I mean, I've met many a crackhead, and crackheads don't overdose, man, and just die. They kind of hang around forever. They smoke crack fucking forever. So, but there's something that is not well known about Old Dirty Bastard. There is, I mean, he was such a weird guy when he did interviews anyway. He said, when he said something, you might not take him totally serious because he was a weird guy. You know what I'm saying? A strange character. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, most artistic types really are like that. But I mean, this guy was especially, shock and awe. You know what I'm saying? But there's an interview where Old Dirty's sitting there with Method Man, and he's saying that George Bush wants to kill him, that the CIA wants to kill him, that people are following him everywhere. He was saying he was getting gang stalked. And then you come and you look and you find out there's something called the hip hop police. And basically, the hip hop police got a dossier on every single artist ever, everywhere. Like if you're an informant for them, they'll feed you information for rap battle information. And here's the thing. What's crazy about it is the interview where you see Old Dirty talking about George Bush wanting to kill him and the CIA wanting to kill him and him getting gang stalked. Method Man, when Old Dirty said it, Method Man did this kind of like weird, like this kind of weird twitch. Just like when Tupac was doing the Gangsta Party interview with Snoop. And when Tupac started talking about how the media was hyping up the East Coast West Coast war, and he was saying a lot of this stuff is just hype, and Pac and Snoop he looked down and he went like this, like it looked like he knew something, and this was like a week before Pac got smoked. So then you look and you see this other video of when Biggie was addressing that same interview Pac was talking about, and he was kind of saying the same thing, kind of like, man, I don't know, this stuff is getting blown out of proportion, you know, and he's talking about this engineered race or hip hop East Coast West Coast battle beef, this Civil War op, you know what I'm saying? It was like when Biggie was talking, Puffy, he did the same thing. He did this kind of eye twitch where he looked to the right and the left, and both of these guys died shortly after those interviews. And now looking back on that Old Dirty interview, when you think he was just crazy. No, man, he was a T.I. You know what I'm saying? So, and we know about the 27 Club, you know what I'm saying, of the music industry. You know what I'm saying? How they really be killing musicians. And it is some kind of strange, Kabbalistic type of ritualistic murder fashion. And a lot of times your close friends are in on it. And then they make tribute albums to people that they basically sacrificed. And then they rake in more money, man. I mean, they kind of telegraph that in that movie Tropic Thunder when Ben Stiller he gets abducted by the dope gang, the Flaming Dragon. The character who Tom Cruise, the Hollywood mogul, he's like, here, hey, just let him kill him, and we'll collect the insurance money. So I mean, that's real stuff. That's like in that movie Fuck You Pay Me, where they burn down the business, man, on Goodfellas. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this artist, man, all right, we done burned them out. Here, let's cash in the insurance policy, which, you know, you fake their death, or you fake it, make it look like it was an accidental death when it was actually a murder. You know what I'm saying? And you can see the same thing played out over and over with all kinds of different people. So I mean, it's not just these characters that I'm talking about right here. But I just thought it was funny that this dude mentioned this dude Isham, and how he's got a small little clip in the movie where Warren Beatty is mixing a record with Isham on it, and it's, like I said, it's a heavy West Coast movie, and Isham has the song was off this album called Kill the Fetus, man, and it's straight up this guy. He was always talking about kill yourself, man, and it was called acid rap. So I'm thinking, man, this guy he was an MK. He was an MK musician, and they were trying to get all of us to kill ourselves, because, I mean, that was his message: kill yourself, sell crack. You're going to sell crack and get murdered. I mean, for instance, things like that. And Kill the Fetus is on some Margaret Sanger shit. So, and then that goes back to the Mark Dice video where he says the meeting that changed hip-hop, where they basically, all the record execs and all these prison corporatist types in the prison industrial complex, these niggas plotted how that they were going to sign more violent artists and with more criminal content in the music, because then it'll help them fill up prisons. You know what I'm saying? And why do the rappers get paid so much, the ones in the mainstream, and they get to get away with saying all these horrible things, and even actors, they get to get away with, like Sylvester Stallone says everyone should be disarmed, but yet in every movie Sylvester Stallone plays in, he's got a big ass gun and he's shooting people. So I mean, that's very hypocritical there, you know. But at least with the rappers, a lot of them do live the life that they are portraying. Not all of them. Some of them are just studio gangsters and actors and, you know, like entertainers. Some of them are the real deal. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see that out there. That's like like Gooch Man. Like they tried to set Gooch Man up as a sacrifice, and Gooch Man came back and ended up killing the guy that was sent to kill him. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the game is deep out here. Uh, but it's just strange. You know, it's like anything that's in media, especially mainstream media, mainstream entertainment, Hollywood, Hollyweird, the news, politics. The shit really all is connected, man. You know what I'm saying? It's corrupt from the bottom to the top, and from the top back down to the bottom. And when you see all these things showcased and telegraphed in movies, way in advance, way prior to events, you know what I'm saying? It just goes to reconfirm how scripted, man, and just how crazy it is too. Because I mean, you know, they sacrificed Pac, Biggie, and Old Dirty. That's just three cats right there. They do this with a lot more people, but yeah, man, I suggest everyone needs to check out that movie Bullworth, man, and just look how much it rings true to this Trump shit, man, that's going on right now, man. Because I know it's just it's just pro wrestling, man. This shit is so pro wrestling like, you know what I'm saying? It's two guys standing on a podium on different sides of the room. It's like whoever can be the most convincing liar. You know what I'm saying? Is our whole supposed political system is set up off of this structure, and no one recognizes. Wait a second. This is like pro wrestling, man. I mean, it's cool to watch. It's entertaining, you know. But when it comes down to it, man, you know, there's scripting going on. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a schedule, like there's a program, like there's some kind of system that's beyond, you know. It's not totally genuine, man. It's not like but you know, I mean, it is, but it ain't. That's the tricky thing about politics and wrestling. It's real, but it ain't. You know what I'm saying? There's real aspects, but then there's it's still scripted in the end, and just totally it's just totally up to higher up execs. They make the final decisions, not the industry itself. You know what I mean? Someone is controlling it, you know, and steering it. It's not steering itself, but they want it to appear as if these things are just happening.